The summer of 2025 is winding down and NBA teams are finalizing their preseason rosters. Most spots are locked up either with veterans, draft picks, or two-way guys, but what always gets me hyped this time of the year is the international names quietly being sprinkled on these rosters, fighting for a shot in the league. Every year we see a few standout performances in FIBA tournaments that force NBA teams to pay attention. Remember Guerschon Yabusele? He dominated Europe for years, but it wasn't until he posterized LeBron James and helped France to a silver medal at the 2024 Olympics that the NBA finally came calling. Now I would say he is a legit top 100 player in the world. Or how about Yuki Kawamura, the youngest MVP in Japan's top league? Not just ignored, but also pitied by the NBA and their fans for being too short. Then he torched teams at the 2023 World Cup and the 2024 Olympics, earning him a preseason invite. Fast forward to today, after dominating the NBA Summer League, he has been given a second shot in the league on a two-way contract. These players and many others don't fit the NBA's usual mold. They don't come from fake American high schools and the usual big-name NCAA programs. They don't have flashy mixtapes or draft combine buzz, but they can hoop. They've proven it. And more importantly, they can help teams win, which is ultimately the name of the game. This summer's FIBA Continental Championships gave us another wave of under-the-radar talent, guys who balled out against NBA and premier EuroLeague competition. Today I'm breaking down 10 of the best non-NBA players from those tournaments. These are guys who are ready right now to contribute in the NBA. They just need to get an opportunity. Before we get started, please do me a big favor and like the video as it helps me out far more than I think you guys realize. Consider becoming a channel member if you want to support these videos directly and subscribe for more basketball related content. I'm trying to hit 1 million subscribers before the regular season tips off, so let's make that happen. First up is the undeniable star of the 2025 AmeriCup, the guy who really motivated me to make this video, Yago Dos Santos. Now, before you say it, I know the AmeriCup is not the same level of competition as the Eurobasket, but make no mistake, there are extremely talented players in the Americas. And amongst these, Yago has proven time and time again that he is one of the very best. The 26-year-old point guard took home the MVP honors of the tournament, averaging 17 points and 6 assists per game over the 9-day event, while hitting 48% of his threes. That's not just great volume, but also elite efficiency. And for anyone doubting the level of competition, in 2 games against Team USA, made up mostly of ex-EuroLeague and ex-NBA talent, Yago actually picked up his production to the tune of 19 and 10 per game. He's fast, strong, crafty, and has one of the tightest handles outside of the NBA. Plus he can hit floaters, knock down threes both off the catch or dribble, and he brings that edge that every good point guard needs. He gets under his opponent's skin, electrifies his teammates, and never looks rattled. Yago's not new to this either. He's been Brazil's elite guard over the past 5 years and has already led them in both the World Cup and Olympics. And in the EuroLeague this past season, with Crvena Zvezda, he thrived as a sixth man, creating offense and ranking among the top assist guys off the bench in the league. NBA front offices cannot keep ignoring him. He even had a small shot in the NBA last year at the 2024 Summer League, and he averaged 8 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds per game, all at only 5'10" by the way, with a killer 44% deep shot. Quite simply, what else could you expect from him? Yago is ready for the NBA. He would boost the point guard depth of any roster right now. Next up, we're going to turn our focus to the tournament that everyone's thinking about, the Eurobasket, where one of the tournament's most consistent high-level performers over the past decade once again made his mark. Tornike Shengelia, the longtime captain of the Georgia national team, led them on a surprise run to the second round of the knockout stage, including huge upset wins both over Spain, who were the defending Eurobasket champions, and France, fresh off their Olympic silver medal. At 6'9", Shengelia plays the modern point forward role to perfection. He can attack off the dribble, shoot from all 3 levels, and create off the dribble for others. On defense, he switches across all positions, being both strong and big enough to battle with bigs, and quick and nimble enough to stay in front of guards. His averages of 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists per game may not jump off the page, but they show his well-rounded ability to do whatever the team needs. And before you knock his rebounding, remember Georgia's front court featured 2 NBA-level centers in Goga Petadze and Sandro Mamukelashvili, so Shengelia was not needed to crash the glass as much. What he was asked to do, however, was stretch the floor, and he delivered on this, shooting an elite 52% from deep over 7 games. In the EuroLeague, Shengelia has been a key contributor for a while now. He was one of the very few bright spots with Virtus Bologna this past season. It has been a long time since Shengelia was given a fair look by an NBA team. Over 10 years ago, a young Shengelia struggled through a brief 2 years in the NBA, but he is a completely different player now. Like Yabusele before him, Shengelia has developed his perimeter skills to an elite level. At 33 years old now, he belongs in conversations, ranking the very best non-NBA forwards on the planet. He would be a solid contributor in the league right now. But forwards like Shengelia get decent attention from Americans thanks to their size. Now let's talk about one of the most underrated point guards in all of Europe, Mateusz Ponitka. The Polish floor general led them to a surprising second-round appearance in the Eurobasket tournament, showcasing his poise, versatility, and high-level basketball IQ. In their 7 games, Ponitka averaged 18 points, 4 assists, and 8 rebounds a night at only 6'5", by the way, while knocking down 39% of his threes. Numbers that speak to his all-around impact on both ends. I would go as far as say that he looks like a diet Luka Doncic on the hardwood. Ponitka has been overlooked by NBA scouts, but he's been quietly doing everything you would want from a lead guard professionally. On the court, he controls the tempo, makes smart reads under pressure, and knows when to score versus when to facilitate. And he's not new to stepping up against top-tier competition. Back in 2022, he became just the 4th player in Eurobasket history to record a triple-double, and he did it in a victory against Luka and Slovenia in a win-or-go-home game. He's not flashy, but he's surgical, strong, smart, and always aggressive. Ponitka is the kind of vet you can trust to run an offense without turning it into a foolish solo act. He's been a mainstay in the EuroLeague and Eurocup for a decade, bringing that reliable presence everywhere he goes. For NBA teams searching for a steady backup point guard who can hit shots, rebound, and run their sets like a pro, Ponitka is their man. He has never been given a real shot in the league, but now is the time while he is still in his prime at 32 years old. Now, before anyone rushes to the comments yelling, "But defense," let's talk about a certain bias I notice. For some reason, NBA fans love to discredit international guards the moment they're under 6'5" and can't jump over a car. Because of course, there's no place in the league for short guards who aren't elite defenders, right? Except when that's not true. But here's the twist, Yam Madar can actually defend. The 23-year-old Israeli point guard was one of the best perimeter hounds at the Eurobasket, leading the entire tournament in steals at 2.7 per game, to go along with 10 points, 6 assists, and 3 boards. He was a major reason Israel shocked France in the group stage, handing them their only loss. And this isn't just national team magic. Madar was lights out in the Euro Cup play last season with Hapoel Tel Aviv as well, averaging 14 points, 4 assists, and over a steal per game while shooting a scorching hot 56% from deep. That's not good, that's absurd. Though Madar is just 6'3", he has speed, intensity, and the basketball IQ to compete with the very best in the world. He pressures the ball, navigates screens, understands passing lanes, and plays with the energy coaches dream of off their bench. And he's still just 23 years old, the same age as most incoming NBA rookies. Give him the same preseason opportunity that so many American fifth-year seniors get, and I promise Madar will turn heads. Staying with the point guards, one of the breakout stars of the Eurobasket's group stage was Sweden's Ludvig Hakanson. Sweden came into the tournament with very low expectations, more just happy to be here than actual contenders. Their most recognizable name was Pelle Larsson, a second-round draft pick who played just 1 year in the NBA and hasn't really done very much. But it was actually Hakanson who stole the spotlight, especially in their first game. In Sweden's opening night matchup against the host nation Finland, a game that many expected to be a blowout, Hakanson had other plans. He torched their defense, knocking down 6 threes to help him reach 28 points, 6 assists, and a steal, nearly leading Sweden to a massive upset before falling just short 93-90. NBA All-Star Lauri Markkanen had to match his 28 points just to keep Finland afloat. While he didn't hit those highs every night, Hakanson was steady throughout Sweden's surprise run all the way to the knockout stage, finishing the tournament averaging 12 points, 3 assists, and over a steal per game while shooting 41% from deep. And like the other guys in this video, this was no fluke. Hakanson is 28, in his prime, and has been a strong performer in the Spanish ACB for a while now, this being one of the toughest leagues outside the NBA and EuroLeague. With Murcia last season, he put up 10 points and 3 assists per game with a 38% three-point shot. He's a skilled floor spacer, an intelligent passer, and he plays with boys. At 6'2", he may not fit the NBA's ideal size quota, but watch him play and you'll see a point guard who can hoop at any level. I think he deserves a serious look in the league. Another European guard I really wanted to mention was Germany's Andreas Obst. The 6'3", 29-year-old shooting guard was integral to their gold medal run, going a perfect 9-0 in the tournament. Obst contributed 9 points per game with a 46% long ball on over 5 tries a match. His shooting was a constant threat on the floor. When he was out there, the defense was forced to leave a man far too close to him, which created space for his premier NBA and EuroLeague teammates. And then when the opposition had to scramble and inevitably was late on a rotation, Obst always made them pay. His chemistry with FIBA veterans Dennis Schroeder and Franz Wagner is a real treat to watch, as this trio have been dominating international basketball for a while now. This was Germany's 4th consecutive top 4 finish in their last 4 major FIBA tournaments. Professionally, Obst has spent nearly his entire career competing in Germany's Bundesliga, and he has participated in the last 4 EuroLeagues. During this time, he has always put up respectable numbers right around 10 points per game with a 40% long ball. NBA teams probably don't trust him defensively, but I say this criticism is far overblown. Obst can score with the big dogs and doesn't demand touches or need the ball in his hand to even have success. This is exactly the type of player an NBA team would want to have off their bench in a off-ball role. Plus, he has tons of experience playing alongside NBA players, and shooters are more valuable now than ever before. Alright, that's enough European guards in a row. Time to show some appreciation to the big man role. True 7-foot-tall humans are very rare, and there are a few in the NBA right now who, let's just say, aren't making much of an impact. This takes us to Iceland's Tryggvi Hlinason. The snowman just put up one of the most dominant interior performances of the entire Eurobasket. The 7-foot 1-inch center was the heart of the Iceland team that gave just about everyone they faced a much tougher match than expected. Hlinason led the tournament in blocks at 2.4 per game, finished 3rd in rebounds at 10, and added 14 points per game on a ridiculous 75% shooting from 2, also the very best mark in the tournament. In short, if he had the ball anywhere near the rim, it was either 2 points, usually in the form of a dunk, or they fouled him. The problem is he is not a stretch big, nor does he do well when switching on defense to guard smaller players, especially guards. What he does bring, though, is top 1% size, strength, and discipline around the basket. He's a traditional rim protector and low post scorer, and while that's not popular amongst every NBA team, these guys still exist in the league. Think about guys like Ivica Zubac, Zach Edey, Jonas Valanciunas, or even Rudy Gobert. None of them are switching onto guards very much, but they're still incredibly valuable players in specific matchups. Hlinason could give you that kind of situational impact. He would not be an every night rotation guy unless a team builds around his strengths, but as a plug-and-play big who can bang down low and protect the rim in short bursts, there's definitely a place for him. Despite his impressive play against this competition, he has yet to play in the EuroLeague yet in his career. But he has held his own very well in the Euro Cup last season with Balboa Basket. And after what we just watched this year, I think NBA teams looking for interior toughness should give him a serious look. Alright, that's enough praise to the EuroLeague. Let's step away from there and look at the Afrobasket tournament, where one of the biggest breakout stars came from a name I've been talking about for a while, Jacques Boissy. He was the centerpiece of my African basketball rising video I made earlier this summer, and he absolutely lived up to the hype. Boissy led Senegal to a bronze medal with poise and swagger, showing off his two-way skills nightly. The 24-year-old 6-foot point guard stuffed the stat sheet, averaging 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals per game. I know I've said this before, but he really reminds me of Dennis Schroeder when I watch him. His Afro-Basket finale against Cameroon was legendary. In this, he put up 40 points, 7 assists, and 3 steals in a win. That is the highest single-game scoring performance in Afro-Basket history. And you should not dismiss the level of competition here. Yes, a lot of the players in this tournament are semi-pros, but Boissy did play against some legit talent. For example, Cameroon featured NBA up-and-comer Yves Missy, Nigeria had Josh Okogie, and the South Sudan team nearly upset Team USA last year in the Olympic prep. Boissy brought it in every matchup, but admittedly his pro resume is still developing and lacks any premier stops. Right now, his biggest moment came earlier this year when he led Al Ahly to the 2025 BAL Championship, taking the MVP in the process. Thankfully, now NBA scouts are starting to take notice. Boissy was recently selected in the NBA G League International Draft and had his rights traded to the Windy City Bulls, the Chicago Bulls minor league affiliate. Whether he plays in the NBA's official minor league or signs a more lucrative deal overseas, one thing is clear: Boissy isn't done climbing. He's only 24, he's still improving, and he already looks like someone who belongs on the bigger stage. If he keeps progressing, don't be surprised if an NBA shot comes sooner rather than later. Turning our attention to the Asia Cup for these last couple guys, one of the most impressive performers was a name you might remember from NBA draft boards not too long ago: Mojave King. The 23-year-old 6'5" wing led New Zealand to the bronze medal game, averaging 17 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and over a steal per night, while guarding the top perimeter options on the other end. And like many of the best names in this video, King delivered his best performances in their biggest games, including 23 points against Lebanon and 19 against silver medalist China. He dominated these games with his strength, speed, and confidence. He nailed his open shots, defended with focus, and read the game with real maturity. New Zealand's offense was a masterclass in ball movement and team play, and King was the one leading the charge. His professional journey up to this point hasn't been pretty. After turning down NCAA offers to join the NBL's Next Stars program, King took a detour with the G League Ignite team, a stint that frankly hurt his development far more than it helped. He still managed to get drafted in the late second round in 2023, but so far he has only seen G League minutes stateside. Last season with the New Zealand Breakers of the NBL, he posted a career-best 8 points per game, which is a step forward even if the numbers don't jump off the page. But context matters. King right now is only 23 years old, the same age as many incoming NBA rookies, and he's showing growth where it counts, on the court in real high-stakes games, against real professional competition. King is not done getting better, but he is also not a project anymore. He is a contributor. And after what he showed in the Asia Cup, I believe he has earned another shot in the NBA. And to wrap up this video, another name from the Asia Cup that should be known west of the Middle East is Mohammed Alsuwailem. The Saudi Arabian big man was by far the most talented Asian-born center in the tournament. Competing at home in front of the Saudi fans, Alsuwailem was a force that could not be stifled. He averaged 17 points, a tournament-leading 12 rebounds, and a tournament-leading 2.8 blocks per game, while shooting 70% from 2 and even knocking down one of his 2 3-point tries. His best performance came in their final match in round 1 of the knockout bracket against the Philippines, where he put up a whopping 26 points, 14 rebounds, and 2 block shots. Unfortunately, Alsuwailem is an unknown outside of the Middle East. For some reason, the 6'10" force in the middle has never competed professionally in Europe or in any of Asia's top leagues. His 2025 season was spent with Al Ula in the Saudi Arabian League, where he put up 16 points, 13 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks a night, which is impressive production on paper, but is almost meaningless when so little footage or even written records of these games exist. But what we do know is he is still only 27 years old, and at least in FIBA play, we have seen him play with an edge. He loves representing his national team and never backs down against taller or more athletic opponents. In fact, it seems that he loves when he gets to compete with real high-level competition, because he probably doesn't get much of that in Saudi Arabia. You may be a hater and you may think the Middle East cannot develop NBA or even EuroLeague caliber big men, but let's take a look at FIBA legend Hamed Haddadi. It can definitely happen. I'm not sure what the future has in store for Alsuwailem, but I hope one day we will get to see him match up with Western talent. It would be cool to see him in an NBA preseason game, just to see what he is capable of. And there you have it, 10 FIBA standouts from the summer of 2025. Please let me know your thoughts on the guys I covered today, or give me some other names that you guys noticed that I missed today. There certainly were a lot of good options to choose from. Remember to like if you have not already, and subscribe for more basketball related content. I will see you all next time.